Hello everyone. Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you have enjoyed our morning session with our previous panel from University Malaya alumni. I'm so excited today to have Miss Cassandra Seng. She is the group lead in modern work and security business from Microsoft Malaysia. So today she will share with us with her presentation titled Microsoft Future of Work. So I'd like to present to you Miss Cassandra Seng to start with her presentation.
Hi, thank you so much. Thanks, Anwar. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone is staying safe and well and healthy. Right. Let me just go ahead and share my screen before we begin. Right. Let me just bring up the text so that you will be able to see as well. All right. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we are able to see your screen now.
Awesome. Hi, everyone again. So my name is Cassandra. I'm basically the modern work and security business group lead in Microsoft Malaysia, right? So what I'll be sharing with you guys here today is that since you are our future leader, right? We want to take this opportunity to share with you how we are seeing in the future of work today, right? Maybe before I begin, just some quick introduction of myself. All right, I hope to say, it's been so many years since I've graduated, but I do miss uni days, and that's the best time ever. So, guys, enjoy to the max before work starts or career starts, right? Enjoy to the max and make this time as the learning time and make full use of it to learn as many things as possible, right? If you are super interested in technology, I think that's where you can take this time to learn, right? Because when you are going into your career days, it will be harder for you to find time to learn, right? Tougher for you because you have more commitments. There's work. There's a lot of things for you to do, right? So I've graduated from University Malaysia of Sabah years back, serving my 8 years in Microsoft today. Right, I joined Microsoft as an intern years back, and started the role as sales. Then I also changed to a services role where I actually cover quite a number of enterprise and some customer. Then right now I'm actually in the marketing role, covering modern work and security business in Microsoft Malaysia. Right. So let me just deep dive into the topic here today. Right. I thought before we begin, in case if you guys do not know who is Microsoft, what does Microsoft do, just want to bring you back to 1975. All right. Some of you might know this picture. This might look familiar, or this is something new to you. So basically, right, what happened was in 1975. This is where Microsoft was founded by Paul Allen as well as Bill Gates, right, on the innovation of one crazy dream. I'm not sure if you know, but the dream back then was one computer on every desk in every home. Right, that was back in 1975. But what happened was, while it's safe to say that our vision has surpassed in many ways today, right, and the company has evolved and changed over the years, right, one thing has still remained, right, one thing that never changed, right? What is that? Right, is the passion for innovation and learning that we still have and we are still holding strong today, right? That's why in my beginning of my speech I did mention about learning, and I think that that is very crucial, especially for a personal growth or personal development perspective, right? And we value a lot in terms of learning, right? So let me just move into the second slide. I think this is so positive news, but not so positive news, but I thought it's something for us to share with you, right? Even though it's a big name, it's a company, but back then, what happened was there were some negative news during that time, right? And we were seen as a 40-year-old company. We do not change fast, and there's a not so positive information in the news about Microsoft, right? But right, what happened was, then fast forward a little bit, right? In February 2014, right? As they say, timing is actually everything, right? We were already thinking at that point of time at the company level about, starting to shift, right? We need to shift, we need to change our culture, right? And then what happened was, our company was arose when our new CEO, our third CEO, Satya Nadella, right, the one in the middle, right, who actually joined us in February 2014. So what happened was, he actually made it very clear, and what happened is that he put it in this way, right? He mentioned to everyone in the company to say, hey guys, listen, we actually need to find out who we were, right? Why we are here, and how do we see ourselves or consider ourselves, or how the world will view us, without us in it, right? How do people see us right today? So in short, what he's trying to say, right, is, as a company, as one body here, we need to really discover our soul, right? Because without that, I think what happened is, if the negative news still goes on, I think as a company we will probably be, you know, uh, uh, going behind rather than improving ourselves. Right. So I think since February 2014, since he joined us, he has been making a lot of changes in terms of how do the company grow. And then in terms of culture, right, how do we need to build ourselves to keep ourselves, strong in the market, right? And I think he has did a fantastic job. In today, if you look at Microsoft, I think we have made a great improvement so far since 2014, right? And really have to thank this man for bringing the company up so well, and change the culture so well, right? So I think I just wanted to do some fast forward a bit to year 2020. Right, because earlier on I was thinking to give you some idea of or background of Microsoft, right? Some story around that, and then fast forward to year 2020. I'm not sure if you guys heard of this, but just wanted to share with you here the mission of Microsoft, right? It's where we wanted to empower every person and every organization on the planet to actually achieve more. Right, and I think we have done the first one, which is to have every one computer in every home on every desk. We have did it, and this will be our new mission or second mission that we wanted to achieve. And I think so far we have been doing a good job, but it can be right, and we are improving. So I just wanted to also with you here, right? Some of the photo here, picture here might look very familiar to you guys today. I think especially the last few, right? I think we can relate ourselves to these photo pictures, right? And what we're trying to say here is resilience, right? This ability, this resilience is the ability for us to actually adapt quickly, right, to the changing condition, right? And this has become a hallmark for our success in today's environment. Right. We have seen quite a number of organizations that have already embarked on their digital transformation journey are already seeing benefit because they are ready, right? They are ready to face this, right? But what happened is that what about those that have not on board yet? Right, because for those who have on board, what happened is that they probably already have the cloud-enabled technologies. They are more flexible. They are more capable of having on-demand access to having tools to help them to stay connected, right? To work from home, to study from home, right? But what happened with those that is not onboarded yet, right? It's definitely going to be a very, very, very challenging time for them. And I think it doesn't matter which industry you're from, right? You could be coming from different industry, but I think we all face the same problem or impact during the last few months. Like, so for example, like you guys as a student, right, I'm sure we never really expect that there will be a day where we need to study or need to work with our teammates or colleges mate, right? To work virtually or remotely, right? Because we're so used to face-to-face engagement, face-to-face class, face-to-face lecture. But today, what happened is that we are actually forced to stay at home, right? Attend class online, virtual. So, so in a way, right, this has really changed how we see or how we view the future, right? And what happens for today is I also wanted to quickly share with you here, right? When it comes to Microsoft Cloud, we actually have different solution or capabilities, right? If you look from the top, our holistic offering actually spans across application infrastructure, data and AI, developer tools and services, security and compliance, business processes, productivity and collaboration. Right. And then what happened is among all this, where we are today specifically, I'll just be looking at the Microsoft 365 pillar or portion, right? Because since I'm covering that solution or pillar today, I think I won't be doing a good justice for the rest of it if I were to share that. Right, but I thought maybe for today's session, I will just deep dive into the Microsoft 365 pillar or solution, right, to give you guys more information. Right, basically, I'm not sure if you guys have heard of Office or Microsoft 365, right? These are all the capability, features, and function that is available, right, within the tool itself. Right, some look familiar to you, but some might look, I do not know them. Right, so the one that I think it's probably familiar to you guys here are, Excel, PowerPoint, Word, OneDrive, OneNote, and some of you, I'm not sure if you know, Teams is also one of our super cool capabilities and features here, right? This is the tool where we use for collaboration purpose, for chat, for meetings, for file sharing, and then for you to also work with a third-party application or integrate with third-party application. Right. Then on top of that, also, if you are using email, I think that's where you will be using Outlook as well. Right. So these are some of the capabilities that I wanted to share on Office 365 or Microsoft 365 today. Okay. So coming back to the solution, I think this is where we are looking at from the angle of digital transformation. Usually when we look at digital transformation, I think these are the four areas that we look at, right? Empowering the employees, engaging client or customers, transforming product, as well as optimizing operations. So these are the four pillars or key area that we look at when we look at digital transformation. Right. And today, specifically, again, because modern work usually will just look at empowering your employees or empowering people to do more, right? This is the pillar that we will be focusing today. Right. So usually when we look at empowering employees, this is where we look at, hey, how do we help the company or how do we help the schools or the uni to empower people to achieve more, right, with the tools and capabilities that we have today. Right. For example, right, today with Office 365, what you can do here is with Teams, you can actually collaborate, have meetings, chat, share files with your colleagues or teammates that is sitting across in different country, different world, different states. Right. So even though you guys are being based in different countries and places, what happened is that the tool actually give you that platform to work together and collaborate together. Right, so that's one of the example, right? Other than that, Office 365 also allow you to basically create or customize application, right, that is relevant to your company or to your university or colleges, right? So we have done some program with some university students and college students. They were very creative. So what they did, right, was we actually run some session with them to help them understand the technology better. And then from there, because we have also introduced to them the application development tools, right? And then we give them the access. They have some access to play around with the tools to build some apps. And we did a mini competition for them to actually build apps and actually share with the crowd. So I still remember there was one that is very interesting where a group of students or this team basically they came up with this app that help or facilitate the food ordering system in their college, right? Because one of the challenge and pain point they were telling us is that, today the student, as a student, you have very limited time during break or lunchtime, and usually during lunchtime it will be super peak hour, and for them to actually queue and order for food, it would take a very very long time. So what this group of students did was they actually came up with a food ordering system through the app itself, create that so that the student can actually order in advance and order in advance. And what happened is that once the food is ready, they would just keep it on the table or the corner available there, and then they would just go and collect. So it actually save up a lot of time, and it shorten the queue and makes things more easier for them as students. So they're actually helping their own community, even though that's not like a work or business related solution or apps. But I find it, it's so cool because they have come up with things that can really help themselves, right? Or help the community or help the college, right? So that was just one example, right? And I think back to where we are today, because the last few months due to the pandemic we have seen a lot of challenges, right? From customer, from students, from lecturers. They were telling us, hey guys, or hey Microsoft, we have seen that remote work actually tax our brain more. What do you see? What do you feel? Right? What is our view? So what we did, right, was basically we have done some research. So maybe later on what I can do here is, if you guys are keen to find out more about this research, you can actually click into the link that I have here. I'll be sharing this deck to Anwar and the team. They will be sharing out to you. So basically we have this report or this research that then we look at, hey, this group of people here, right? Let's gather some feedback from them, right? How do they see remote work? Whether it's helping them or whether it's actually creating more disturbance, fatigue, right? So the result has shown, right? What happened is that we have seen the result is that actually video meeting will lead to fatigue, right? I think it doesn't matter whether it's meetings or your classes or lecturers. You feel that remotely it gives us the flexibility or time. It's actually creating more fatigue at the moment, right? Because what happened is that you actually lost the connection with human, right, or with your friends. But what happened is that you are sitting perhaps in your dorm or in your room in your hostel, looking at your computer or your laptop every day, just going for classes, going for lectures, right? So, and what happened is that we also find out that remote collaboration is more difficult, right? Why? Because I feel that perhaps we are not ready for that, right? A lot of people are not ready because a lot of companies, especially or even like student yourself, usually when you do assignment, I think during my time I still prefer having my group of teammates sitting in a room or a cafe, right, or in a canteen. Discussing together makes more sense and easier to work with. But now everyone need to work remotely, right? It's the experience is so different, right? Because you won't be able to gauge what is the person feeling or reacting to the statement or to whatever you say, right? So definitely it's challenging, it's not easy, but I think this is where we need to learn and be adaptive. Okay, and from Microsoft perspective, how can we help student? How can we help lecturers as well as some of our companies out there? So I'm not sure if you guys have seen this, but if you are using Microsoft Teams, we have come up with some cool features. Right, one of it is definitely the together mode. Right on the left. So what happened is that with the together mode scene, it will make you feel like, okay, we're actually in the same room or in the same lecture hall, right? So when you have the call or when you have that discussion or class with your teammates or with your lecturer, you do feel that, oh, okay, we're actually still in the hall, or we're still in the same room, and it feels like, okay, in a way we're still connected. All right. And then on the right, there's also some of the cool features that we have launched recently. So if you're using, definitely have a look at it. It's called the dynamic view. So what happened is it's actually very dynamic for presentation. For example, you can pick and choose the view that you want, right, based on your preference. Because for some people, they might prefer to have certain view or certain look and feel, right, to help them stay focused. Okay. Then next, also we look at, hey, what do people actually talk about working from home or studying from home, right? Is that an option, right? Or we still prefer physical office, right? So what we are seeing after we have done this research, right, is that we have seen a lot of company or a lot of school actually say that, hey, now that we are more familiar, we are more adept to working from home or studying from home, right, let's make this an option, right? But yet a physical office or physical venue or physical uni and school and colleges will not be disappeared, right? Because for certain people, they still feel like, I need the physical office or physical classroom to help me stay focused, right? So that really is how we are looking in terms of future of work, or how do we see future workplace, right? And if you look at the studies here, right, nearly 60% of people feel less connected to their colleagues since working remotely more often, right? I think this is very true. I'm not sure if you guys feel that, but I'm sure you will feel that in a way, because you don't get to see your friends so often. I think for now it's slightly better during CMCO, but back then during MCO, it was really tough. I think everyone was trying to adjust. Everyone was trying to adapt to it, right? Because on that point of time, we can't really go out so freely, right? In a way, you still have to stay in the room, right, alone, right? So and what happened is that we also look at, hey, maybe from a manager and employee point of view and manager point of view, right? 70% of the manager and employee actually desire the flexibility, right, of working from home, right? In a way, for certain people, they still feel that, hey, since I have already adapted to it, right, I'm getting used to it, right? I'm already familiar with the routine. I'm already familiar with the feeling and the expectation, right? And then what happened is 82% of the managers that we have done the research on also tell us, hey, I think in a way we are also expecting to have more flexible working from home policy post this pandemic, right? So really, working from home, how people are seeing it at the moment, right, is an option, right? It used to be, people are very skeptical about working from home or working remotely, right? Because the trust is not there, right? So for example, right, if I can give you one, I still remember beginning of the MCO, what happened was we have a lot of customer coming to us to ask, hey, I think in a way, right, we still don't feel comfortable working from home because we don't see our staff, our employees, right? We are afraid that they are not really using the time to work, right? We're so afraid that they are slacking, they're just not doing anything but just staying at home. So I think that perception has changed along the way, right? Previously, there were a lot of need to build that trust, and post the pandemic, or post the last few months, we have seen that these customer now, they are more open to it, right? And I think that they are starting to think about, hey, maybe working from home or studying from home is an option now. So we have interviewed some of the students and lecturers as well to see, how do you feel working from home, or how do you see, in future or post this pandemic, right? Do you think that working from home or studying from home is an option moving forward, right? To give both the lecturers and the students the flexibility, right? Because commuting, I think we all know that commuting is not easy, right? Especially for students who don't own a vehicle or a car, right? So waiting for the bus, waiting for cab, waiting for the transport could be uh, very difficult. It will take a long time, right? So perhaps studying from home can be an option, right? So that's what people are telling us today. Right. And then in summary, I think just to also share with you guys here, this is what we have derived to, right? From an opportunity standpoint, we have seen that working and learning from home, right, as a family has created more empathy between teammates, right? So if you are staying with your family or staying with your teammates, I think this is where you learn to be more empathy, right? And then also it actually shifted the perception. Again, the same example that I was giving you earlier, right? What happened was previously the perception from the manager or from the employer, especially, even from lecturers, right? Hey, if we're learning remotely, will the student be paying attention, right? Or they are just, maybe playing games at the same time. The trust wasn't there, so it was a perception, right? And then post that, I think along the way we have learned that we need to shift this perception, right? It's all about perception that we have put in, right? So we need to learn to change this view, right? And then have more trust in people, right? And then also from an opportunity perspective, this has also made work more inclusive for remote collaborators, right? Why? Because previously, perhaps in the lecture room, what happened is usually only those that is outspoken, student who have a lot of ideas they will get more attention, right? But what happened is, hey, now that everyone is in the virtual world, in the remote world, right? Everyone has the chance to raise their hand, to view their point, to ask their question, right? I think that's where it's from the opportunity perspective, right? But what happened is we also see the view from a challenges perspective, right? So this is where we are seeing it, right? More remote work can also lead to longer working hours, meeting or meeting fatigue, as well as miss the in-person connection, right? Again, I think this is something that you guys are probably feeling it as well, right? I'm not sure if as a student you are feeling longer studying hours, but definitely for working um, people, right? It's definitely a longer working hours for us, because you will see people replying email during weekend, during midnight, right? Because what happened is that, now you don't have much things to do, right? You just sit at home and then your laptop is always in front of you, right? So the tendency of you working is higher, right? And then definitely I think we all miss the in-person connection very much. So if you still remember the days where you can just walk freely in the hallway with your friends, have coffee chat, go to coffee shop, go to cafe, study, right? I think this is something that we are missing today a lot, right? Even though we have the flexibility, but I think it's limiting certain move from us, right? And the lack of connected and comfortable home spaces remains a productivity challenge for most of us, right? I think because not many of us have a place where it's set up to be an office, right? So a lot of time, especially for those who have kids at home, they will find it a bit more challenging to cope with work, and they won't be able to focus so much because it could be they have kids at home, and then while they're having meetings or studying, there's a lot of interruptions, so they can't really focus, right? So this is just a summary view that I wanted to share with you guys. And then, so fast forwarding a bit as well to see, hey, how do we see returning to work or school in a confidence way, right? From our perspective, right, returning to workplace, I think first thing is that definitely the hybrid model will comes into picture, right? Again, if we look at working or studying from home, I think definitely that will be an option moving forward, right? And then you cannot let go of your physical location or venue, right? So these will be the few key areas that we think is very crucial when we look at returning to our workplace or school, right, or class, right? So health and safety is definitely first. And then in terms of, hey, then in that case, how do we support people need, right? Whether you are an employee, whether you are a staff, a student or a lecturer, you will have your needs, right? So, so definitely supporting that needs will be very crucial, right? And then how do we then also look at serving your clients, right? So to the uni, the clients will be you guys as student. For company, most of the time the clients or the customer will be our commercial customer, enterprise customer, yeah. So and then also what happened is that we need to meet or exceed regulation, right? We have to enforce equal or higher than local government or public health guidance, right? To make sure that things will go safe, right? Okay, so in terms of how can we help, again, I think I just wanted to highlight again on the application here, even though I did not manage to actually show all the capabilities and tools, but what I was thinking is that if you are keen to find out more, right, one thing that we wanted to highlight here is that perhaps you can start or begin to look at this tool that we have here. It's quite easy to pick up, right, especially for you guys here. You are prone to tech today. It's so easily accessible for you, right? Perhaps this is something that you can look at. It's Microsoft Teams, right? Just a quick overview of what exactly is Microsoft Teams if you are not using it or if you have not heard of it, right? Basically, what it allows you to do, right? It's basically a unified communication and collaboration platform for us, right? There is this chat capability. This is where you can have your persistent chat, one-to-one, and group chat. On top of that, what you can also do here is you can have group chat with internal or external guests. You could format your messages. You can create polls or vote, right? Then you can do calling, video calling, or just normal calling, right? Then you can also do live event where you have event you wanted to host, right? And then at the same time, what you can also do here, right, is that you can also store and share files with your teammates, right, or with your schoolmates. Then post that you can also create or keep track on your projects and your work group here. Again, and then back to the collaboration and documents, this is where you can also at the same time co-author the file or document with your teammates within the tool itself. Then we're looking at, hey, right, what other capabilities that we can bring, right? So I think the unique point of Teams is that it's not just a chat, video conference or calling tool, but it's also allowing you to actually integrate with other business application or third-party application. So today, right, for example, if you are having your own bot or having your own application, what you can do here is you can actually integrate that into Teams and then make your work or study more easily because everything is actually in a single page. You don't need to go in and out to different application. Right, and on top of that, what happened is that in Teams alone, there's also some AI capabilities, right? So we have some message translation capabilities. There's also transcription in case if you have any friends or colleagues who might have some hearing disability. I think this will definitely help and make sure that everyone is inclusive, right? Then you have the live caption as well. You have the meeting recording capabilities, right? And then as well as you can change your backgrounds if it's needed, right? I think this is just a quick overview of what Teams can cater for, right? But definitely, if let's say you need to find out more, again, I'll be sharing this deck. And then I do have one link where you can go to and find out more about all the applications or the tools that we have available for you, right? To Anu and the team later, right? And since you guys are students, I thought this would be a good opportunity for me to share with you. We actually have this program called the Microsoft Student Learn Ambassador, right? If you are not on it today, I would strongly encourage you to actually apply now, right? Because what happened, right, is that once you have created that, it will actually give you a lot of access to trainings, to content, to event, and then as well as if you heard of Imagine Cup, I think this is something great. Then and we wanted to highlight as well, right? So this for the content I was talking about, right? Once you are in, you will be able to see Microsoft Learn, right? This is where we have this website with a lot of contents that you can go through, right? Based on your preference, right? You could be interested in cloud technology, right? I think that's where you can look at, hey, what are some of the recommended courses for me if I were to look into cloud technology, right? Or if I'm interested in security or cybersecurity, right? So these will be the list of learning options or learning modules that you can go through, right? And on top of that, say for example, if you just you want to be more advanced, right? You want to take some Microsoft certified program. I think this is where you can also explore certification as well. All right. And then what you can also do here is we have a lot of live or recorded events or session, right? This is where you can have access to it, right? And last but not least, I did mention about Imagine Cup earlier, right? I thought this will be something that I wanted to highlight here in case if we have any developers in the room. If you are keen, I think this will be a good opportunity or platform for you to register yourself, right? Because what happened is that once you register yourself, I think this is where you can network with people, learn more from others, learn from each other's and then what happened is that you could win the chance to have some mentorship from some of our Microsoft experts, right? Whether it's from Malaysia or from other countries, right? Because it doesn't really matter now because everything is remote, right? You could easily have access to people that is probably in our HQ, in our Redmond team, right? So other than that, what you can also do here, right, is that you will be able to network with people in the industry, right? All the specialists, all the MVPs, and all the super cool people that is willing to share and then guide you. Right. And then at the same time, once you have registered or once you have some good ideas or cool ideas, right, this is where you can also have the chance to actually showcase your idea. Right. And then, of course, in return, there will be some monetization monetization prizes for you. All right. I think with that, I would like to end my presentation or sharing session today. Let's stay connected in case if you want to reach out to me. I think this is my LinkedIn details. You can reach out to me.
Okay, thank you so much, Cassandra, for your sharing session. Great informative session from you, Cassandra. And then I can say that Microsoft offers a lot of latest information and technology. Definitely the one that I'm most interested in Microsoft Teams. As you know, we as a student, we feel quite pressured now during
Mm,
the pandemic era, which we need to
yeah,
learn online learning. But then with the new latest improvement in Microsoft Teams, definitely the one that you can see yourself like you are arranged in the um, uh, lecture hall seat. That's quite attractive. I can see.
yeah.
I'm quite tempted to.
Definitely try that out. Yeah,
Yes,
definitely try that out if you
yes,
guys are using it.
yes. Here we do have a few questions from our attendees here. One, the most voted here is from Mariam Saidi. She's from Slumberjay. Um, Her question is talking about the foundation of digital journey of a company. How far Microsoft has gone through for SAP and big data?
Talking about the foundation of digital.
Yep.
Sorry, do you mean the partnership from Microsoft and SAP? Are you referring to
Yes, I
that?
think yes, I think she's asking about that.
Ah, okay.
Um, how far,
Yeah.
yeah, gone through with. for SAP and big data?
Yeah, so I think in terms of big data as well as SAP partnership, if you have seen in the news, we're actually partnering with SAP for few years now. And if you realize, we actually have quite a number of events where we actually host a session together with SAP. And then in terms of the conversation with SAP, it's always, how do we bring better value for our customer today? Yeah. Sorry, Anwar, you're on mute.
Sorry. Since for the second question,
Sure.
since we are facing VUCA, VUCA, I'm not sure what is that VUCA world. We to be resilient organization is a compulsory. Do you agree? Is that agile strategy need to be adapted in management? Can you share how the Microsoft organization implement agile strategy?
Sorry, I am also not aware what is VUCA.
Yes, yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
Do you mind to actually elaborate more on what VUCA is?
Yes, maybe the participant can elaborate more what is VUCA. But then we'll skip that question for now. We go to next question. Yeah, this is from our students too, finalist student. Is there any intern placing in Microsoft? How should one approach for intern?
Internship. Extension. Oh yes, yes we do. So what you can do here, right, is you go to Microsoft career page. That's where you can look for one specific area on internship program. Yeah. So feel free to drop in your details. Submit your CV there. I think our Unity recruiting team from Singapore or based in Singapore will reach out to you.
Okay, note that. Um, for our
Volatility.
next question, how the working environment at Microsoft?
How's the working environment at Microsoft? I think, sorry, you're asking Microsoft as a whole or specific to Microsoft Malaysia?
I believe maybe can share both.
Sure.
Our
Yeah,
yeah.
I think overall, if you are asking from a pre and post pandemic perspective, I think we were impacted in a way because our office is actually closed at the moment, but that doesn't really impact how we work or how we collaborate, because what happened is that we are actually practicing working from home for quite some time now, even before the pandemic. I think in a way we were blessed to have the technology in place, so it actually allows us to work from anywhere, any place. And due to the culture in Microsoft as well, our employer or our manager don't really need to see faces in the company, right? The trust is there, and as long as you're doing your work, you are actually okay, right? And we don't really need to punch in card when we start working. So I think the culture wise, uh, it's been well built. Thanks again, thanks to Satya Nadella, who came in and changed the culture, I would say. Yeah.
I believe working culture also need to be prepared for any uncertainties, right? Definitely.
Correct.
Yeah, same goes with our learning experience together, because previously we are not ready, we are not fully ready for e-learning.
Yep.
But then we at University Malaya itself, we do have an e-learning week, which previously we have 1 week where we can do e-learning at home, and that's how our lecturer connecting with us as a student and lecturer too. So I do have a question from Atif Aiman here. He's joining on the stage now. Atif, can you turn off your mic and ask your question?
Yeah, sure. Miss Cassandra, I want to ask whether my first question is whether is there any effort in integrating the integration between product lines, like let's say Microsoft 365 and also GitHub, that Microsoft actually recently acquired? And two, is there any effort, like let's say, to expose to students, because I think it's it kind of like in developer community is that student has to expose in like open source. So like because GitHub they uh, encourage to people to involve in open source. Is there any effort for, let's say, in Microsoft perspective to encourage students to also involve in open source?
Oh, definitely. I think if you have joined some of our Microsoft hackathons, developer events, you will
Mm-hmm.
definitely hear a lot of open source GitHub speeches, materials, details there. Yeah. So today, what happened is that Microsoft is we love open source. We love GitHub. You will see a lot of content on GitHub as well.
So is there any way that student can, I mean, like, okay,
Mm.
because hackathon is like giving student the exposure, right? So is there any resource that student can access so they can have a like first step to utilize the GitHub and Microsoft as a whole?
Yeah, I believe as a student, you already have some access to it. Yeah, or maybe what I can do here is let me get those details ready in the deck as well, so that you guys can have a reference for it. Yeah.
Sure. I think that's be better because we can refer it later for any other inquiries. Okay, regarding with the question about the VUCA just now, our participant explained that VUCA is
Volatility.
volatility, uncertainties, complexity, and ambiguity. Continuation from the above question, for example, what are initiatives that have been introduced?
To be
To
resilient.
replace, yeah,
To be
to be a resilient
Mm.
organization is a compulsory.
Yeah, I think it's pretty what pretty much some of the content that I've shared earlier in terms of I think culture transformation is super critical, right? If a company do not have trust in their people, right, or if if our employee do not trust us, then it will make it very hard for us to work and continue to stay in the company, right? I think definitely culture is very important. The trust has to be there, right? It's going to be a both way thing. So the manager will need to trust the employee. The employee will need to trust the manager as well. So it's a mutual thing that we have built. Yeah,
Great. So this will be our final last
sure.
question. Can you recommend a starter pack for student? There are too many applications in Microsoft. What would be suitable for a
Yeah,
starter?
I think as a student, like what you have rightly mentioned, right? We have a lot of solution. Um, but it also depends on where you are interested or where you have the passion in, right? For example, right, if you are into security or cybersecurity, then definitely look into that security pillar, right? That can be your starter pack. But if let's say IoT is something that you are keen, right? Then look for IoT as the specific pillar to begin with. Don't
Yeah,
don't go and look for everything at once.
sure, sure.
Yeah, so it really depends on where your interest lies, and then where you think you want to build your skill sets or your capability further. Yeah.
I see. I think that's all from our attendees question today. Thank you so much, Miss Cassandra Seng. She's from Modern Work and Security Business Group Lead from Microsoft Malaysia. I hope that we had a very fruitful presentation information that she shared with us. And not to forget that our second forum session today will start at 2 p.m. with R&D Studio, the studio that produced the award-winning animated short film Batik Girl. So thank you so much, Miss Cassandra Seng.
Thanks, Anwar. Thanks for giving me the
Thank you.
opportunity. Thanks, everyone. Stay
Thank you
safe.
for your time, sir. Yeah, thank you. So don't forget to join us later at 2 p.m.